Alright guys, so just welcome back again. This video really is just an update for the score really with what's been going on with the custom map and the dyno and whatnot. I know I've been saying a lot about the dyno and stuff, but just trying to get this right really, and the main thing is with the Mountune sort of map has really messed things up, because the map that I got resent from Mountune, which we could then read, turns out doesn't actually belong to this car. So the VIN number of this car isn't the VIN number that I've been sent from Mountune. So that means it's been awkward for them to use their tuning software on this, because it just keeps chucking up errors. So what they're trying to do is to use a piece of software called HP Tuning. So the HP Tuning is an American company. There's hardly any companies in this country at the moment that are using this HP Tuning. So it's a real new thing for hybrid tune. They're learning as well as anybody else. They've got a rep that sort of supports them, but they can only get support when the Americans are up, which is when we're nearly asleep. So it's been a bit of a challenge for us to get this sort of sorted and diagnosed. So the initial problems was us. I think we're over the Mountune problem now, but it's now an issue for for their software. Originally they writ the map when they got it off the car, but when I went back last time, they couldn't even get the map then to go onto the car, which I don't think was the car's problem, it was their software issue. So it's been a bit up and downy really, to be completely honest with you. Not what I sort of signed up to, and obviously Hybrid Tune didn't realise we'd have all these issues. But when I was up there in the week, we obviously got the car all back hooked up on the dyno, and we'd done another base run, and both the standard run and the Mountune run came exactly the same as what we got the first time. We've got 110 brake as standard and 126 as with the Mountune map on. So in that respect, the consistency is bang on there, which is what I want really. I'm not too fussed about the overall grand total figure, because I think I could probably put this car on 10 different dynos and I'd probably get a different number every time, which is, at first I didn't really think about that, but the more I spoke to people, the more I'm sort of learning that the dyno is a bit of a guide rather than the exact power as such. So yeah, a bit really frustrating. I've agreed with Sam, he's on holiday all next week, and I'm on holiday now for a week as well. So we're not going to be able to do anything this week. As soon as he's got to the bottom of it, I'm going to go back up there on a Saturday morning. We're going to have a whole Saturday morning on it. He's written the map he wants to put on here, and then it's obviously just fine tuning from there onwards. So he said whatever happens, he don't want to give up, and I've said I don't want to give up. I want to get to the bottom of it now and have a custom map that hopefully is as good as all the other people that I've been linked to and read about on like Facebook and YouTube and stuff. We're hoping for 250-ish. If I can get to 250, then I've achieved what I want to achieve, and I think Sam at Hybrid Tune would probably be more than happy with that as well. There's still a lot of stories and things that I've been reading where people are getting sort of 270 brake with all the stuff I've got on here. That could be down to a lot of things, that they could just have a really good map, and it could be true. The dyno could be one of the ones that are reading higher, and possibly the one I'm on is reading quite low. that's still to be proven, and I do think that when this is all done and dusted and I've got an official reading for the map I've already told Sam that I will probably try and just go to a different dyno, more for just, it's probably just as good for him than it is for me to get a second opinion and see how close his dyno is. I mean, to be fair to Sam, his dyno is really good, but he is, in a few months time, that dyno will be gone, because he's obviously moving premise, and he's going to be, he's got a four-wheel drive, brand new four-wheel drive dyno coming, which is all sunken in the ground, and it's going to be like the best of the best in sort of the East Anglia, really. So he's had so many inquiries already for like Subarus and whatnot, just because of he obviously can't do four-wheel drive at the moment, and the more people I've spoke to, Sam's quite well known in the racing industry for tuning, and especially like the digital cars of this sort of day and age, and he has sort of been brought up with this sort of tuning, so I've got a lot of faith in Sam, and I think it's just a learning curve for him with this new software, which I believe the software that he's now got, this HP tuning software, the software is the best of the best for tuning these cars, and there's not, like I said, not a lot of people using it at the moment, so yeah, it's still going to be worth the wait, and hopefully that'll all get sorted soon. So I am literally, I'm on holiday this week, like I said, and I'm staying at my missus' family owned a caravan up on the coast near me. So I've literally driven back an hour from the caravan to get a haircut. I had it booked for a while, and I know it sounds mad, but I'm desperate for a haircut, and yeah, so this will be a nice little, it's been nice to give the car a bit of a hiding, to be fair, just on my own, you know, and the roads that I've sort of been driven on are excellent sort of back roads all the way, so there's no main roads at all where I'm going, so, or where I've been. I'm literally nearly home now, but what I will do is I'll gonna get my hair cut, and then I'll probably just flick back on just to wrap the video up as I'm sort of heading back up to meet my missus again. So I'll catch up with you guys just in a little bit. Okay, and I'm back, and I've got a haircut, and it feels so much different already just by having a cut. It's been like 3.5 months or something, so anyway, I'm happy. It's worth the hour drive and the hour drive back just to feel fresh for the rest of the week, so happy days for that. So yeah, I suppose just getting back to the tuning issue, it's a bit of a faff, I know, and I was expecting to have this all done and dusted by now, but it's worth it. It's going to be worth it for me, because the Mountune map was a bit disappointing when I got 227 brake, I think it was. Not really what I was expecting when they say you should be getting 235, but you've got to also remember there is differences in the dyno, which at the time I didn't appreciate, and I do now, so there you go. I suppose the other thing I haven't spoken about too much yet is the new intake that I've put onto this, which is the Airtec cone intake. You get the metal guard, which was in one of my, I think that might be the last video, the one before that, I'll put a link in anyway. Now, oh my god, that just, I'm from the dyno, which I've already had this day dyno with this intake on, there's no difference at all. Well, I say there's no difference. It doesn't show any difference on the dyno and when you're data logging, because obviously the car, on whatever map you've got the car on, will only let a certain amount of air into the car anyway. So you've got to take that with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because the car does regulate the air. So I don't really think whatever intake you put on one of these, I think the intake will be able to cover the demand the car's asking for. So yeah, I think whatever intake you go for, I don't think you're going to be wrong. But oh my god, this sounds so different. I've had a few questions about why my car sounds the way it does now, just by changing the intake and not putting in a blow-off valve or anything. Now, I haven't had a chance to do a proper research on this, but I know I have spoke to a few guys, and I have seen that Ford did change this setup on this very, very late in 2019, maybe very early in 2020. Now, I'm not sure when it was, but this car was a 2020 model. I got this the last week of January, so obviously this was built obviously very late on when I ordered it, so because this was not off the shelf as such, really, because obviously I spec'd this up and I was specific on what I wanted, so there was none of these made, so they had to make this to the spec I asked for. So hence why I probably got a 2020 model car, because I'm guessing some people would have ordered their cars the same time as me, and if they were taking one off the shelf as such, it could have potentially already been pre-made, and you would have got the old setup with the standard blow-off valve. Now, I believe these have been built or changed in a way, and I don't know what problems they had. They must have had some sort of issue for them to change it. But I believe now this is on like a recirculation system, so that's why I'm getting the blow-off sounds through the air filter. Because if you look on, say, Puma Speed website, they do sell a blow-off valve for these. If you scroll to the bottom, it says on there to check your car setup before ordering, because obviously if you've got this model and on, there isn't one to change. Now, how that's been changed, I'm not sure, but I do believe the springs in the blow-off valves are really weak, and they were let them by before they should have been, hence why they've changed it, and hence why it's now on a recirculating system like mine. So don't expect, if you've got like an 18 plate or a early 19 plate, don't expect just by putting one of these intakes on you'll be sounding like this, because yeah, you won't. It's only on the 2020 models and on that you will. And also don't forget that with the Mountune map, the boost is increased. I have been told by how much, but I can't remember, but this is pushing about 1.5 bar, I think, at the moment, from what Sam was telling me at Hybrid Tune. So I do believe this is pushing more boost, so I think there's obviously more pressure there, so hence why it sounds well. So it does sound really good, and apparently I've been told from outside, if you're near it when it goes, it sounds really loud. So I don't know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Don't know if you can just hear that. I'm in 6th gear, it's 50 mile an hour pulling. It just sounds, in the car it doesn't sound too obnoxious at all. It's what I would class a turbo, or how a turbo should sound, especially like from the old school Scoobies and Evos. I've been in both and driven both in a while ago, and it does sound like a proper rally car now. It's nice. At the end of the video, which I'm not going to keep going on for much longer. I'm going to turn the camera around and just maybe record a fair bit of my journey now, and I'll time lapse the slow bits, and I'll cut the sound in when there's some good bits once I watch it back, and just sort of see if I can get some sounds from in here. I mean, the light's sort of fading now, as you can see, and the roads are so much quieter than when I came down, so I should have a little bit of fun on the way back, because these roads are nice. There's nice overtaken roads and that here. So anyway, going to cut off there. Don't just keep watching after I've signed off, because I will put some time lapse and some sounds of this in. So yeah, keep liking and subscribing to the channel. It is growing every week for me, which is brilliant. And I haven't run away from putting the dyno video on. It will 100% be on here when it's all done. I've got everything edited up to where I am at the moment. I just want to get that last piece in to make that as a whole video. I think that would be quite an interesting watch for certain people. And yeah, if you see me about, just stick a thumb up. So I'll hopefully catch you on the next one. I think next video will be once the tuning's done. I want to get some, I think I'm going to go for IBAC 20mm lowering springs for this. I'll be fitting them myself, and I definitely want one of the new Maxon design rear diffusers. There's two different ones. One of them sticks out a bit and one of them's quite tight. I want the tighter one of the two. I can't remember what the name of it is. I like a bit of I like it to be nice and subtle. I don't want it OTT, and I'll probably order a front lip, side lip, and the little spats for the rear bumper all at the same time. So, and I'll be doing an install video of them. So that'll be my next two things. And I do want to tinker with the brakes a bit on this at some point, but that'll be a bit later on down the road. So that's the sort of the plan in the sort of next couple of months, and then we'll see where we go from there. So yeah, keep watching to the end. See you on the next one.